Hello and welcome to BMT Media. My name is Sean here with Selena,
Hello.
and today we're going to be talking about The Invitation. I completely forgot the name of this movie. That's how forgettable this movie was. The Invitation. That's what we're gonna do. So, Miss Sunday has battled the dragons. She's fought over the Iron Throne. She's gone through heck and back, all to end up here. And this is very sad and disappointing.
Oh,
She worked so hard to build a career for herself on Game of Thrones, and unfortunately, I think this is gonna be what she thought would be her breakout role, but it was not that at all.
well,
And I mean, what did you think about the movie? Now that we have a little bit more time, her name is Natalie Emanuel.
I'm hoping, like you said, it's so forgettable that people forget that she's in this movie, and I think Game of Thrones was her breakout role. We'll
Y-
stick to that for her.
Yeah,
But anyway, the movie,
yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. I believe you gave it a 3 and I gave it a 2 out of 10. And I think you're better off watching the trailer. It's more exciting and you get the whole movie in the
Yes,
trailer.
and I'm so glad I didn't watch the trailer.
Yeah, I
Well,
agree.
I feel like I just watched bits and pieces of it,
Hmm.
but I didn't sit down and actually watch the whole trailer, and I'm glad I didn't because I would have been even more disappointed than I am now.
Yeah, so I mean, you were awake during the first part of this movie, so why don't you go ahead and explain what happens in the first part of the movie very quickly in about a
Really, I
minute.
mean, it pretty much is like what the trailer shows. So, Natalie, the main character or in the movie Evie,
Yeah.
she talks about it's obvious that her mom passed away,
Okay.
and she's alone, and she wants to
She
have a
doesn't have any
family.
family, right?
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
wants
Okay.
a family, or she just wants anything that maybe resembles a family.
Hmm.
Um, it starts off with her working as a waiter for some special event. Looks like she has a friend, best friend. Um, they get they get a goodie bag, or her friend gets her a goodie bag, and inside there's a DNA test. So she gets home. She listens to a voicemail her mom left her. I'm assuming before her mom passed, and she decides to take this DNA test. And
All
the
right. Can
next
we
clip
fast
just
forward
shows
all
her.
this?
Okay, just shows her whatever she sends DNA test. She receives
All
an
right.
email
You're
from
putting me
this.
to sleep again.
She gets an email from this British cousin. What was his name?
Okay, let's just go ahead and talk about
Oliver.
this. Okay, so
Saying, "Hi, I'm your cousin. I want to meet you. I'm gonna be in New York." She meets up with him, and
let,
he
let, let,
says,
let me
"Come."
just let me just talk about that little part right there. Okay, you don't need any of this. This none of this is necessary for this film. Her wanting to find a family member and wanting to be close with them. I feel like in today's day and age, people are a little bit more astute to this, and they would not want to do this because they could get catfished. They could, there's so many dangers online nowadays, and I feel like a fully grown up woman who, she's young enough that she knows how to use all this technology and what leads to this technology. So I don't know. Me personally, I feel like this just isn't something that would happen to a normal person. So it's already non-believable. So throw this
I
whole
mean,
storyline right out.
I think you're wrong.
Well, I mean, once again, I'm talking about an astute, smart lady. We know that there's some people out there who are not the brightest, who unfortunately do fall for this sort of stuff. But
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like a normal person, this would not happen to a normal
But
person.
it does happen.
No, it only happens in your scripted reality television. It's called catfish. That's the whole point. That's how they make their money. But anyways, you don't need any of this. That's my point. You can do this in a much better way. I feel like it would have been much easier to have her just waking up next to this guy. What's his name? His name is
Walter.
Walter in the film. His Thomas Doherty is his real name. Just have them be a couple for a couple of months, and then have them be like, okay, well, I'm gonna take you home. Just give it everything the same that hide and seek
So
was.
give, or I'm thinking the Get Out vibes.
Or yeah, Get Out. Just give them that. It works. You skip all of this BS that, in my opinion, doesn't work. Which is, oh, now I have to do a DNA test, and now I have to go up my family tree, and it. Shut up. You don't need any of that.
But in a way, that was the whole point of it, right? Of this whole movie about the bloodlines and all this other stuff.
That has nothing to do with the movie, dude. This
I
movie.
mean, it does.
This movie is
I
legit.
obviously was paying more attention than you were.
This movie is legit about vampires. That's it. It's just
Yeah,
about
but
vampires.
it was about keeping the bloodlines. Like they needed, and because their last name was Alexander, right? Or that was
Yeah.
their great-grandma.
Okay, so in the very beginning of the movie, we see this lady and she kills herself. She's part
Oh,
of this
yeah,
whole
I
little
forgot
vampire
about that.
tribe thing. And this is her great 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 grandmother or something like that.
Mhm.
And so now they want to recruit her in because she's basically the new version of the one who offed herself.
Well, it's because of the bloodline or whatever.
Right, because they need her bloodline to complete their bloodline, and that makes like 3 or 4 families all powerful, and it gives them like superpowers, life, like extended life or eternal life, whatever
Well,
it is.
pretty much they're vampires, just like Twilight, whatever you see in Twilight.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Apparently
they're
these
not all
vampires have
powerful,
the
but
same thing.
yeah, they're not all powerful, but they're basically vampires. And so they have strength. They have, I think they don't. I don't even know if they have speed.
No, maybe not that much, but they
And-
did mention they were strong.
And they can walk around during the day.
Oh yeah, that's true. They could.
Yeah, so that's all fine. So once again, none of this has anything to do with the actual movie, or none of this is important to the movie. The movie is just about vampires who want to get this girl. That's it. It's a movie about a girl who encounters a family of vampires. That's all it is. Everything else, throw it out because it's unfocused, it's distracting, and you're kind of setting up certain things that, in my opinion, you're not paying off. Like,
Yeah,
if
but
you.
it felt at some point like it was going to be a scary movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, this is a scary movie. Okay, what's gonna happen? Like, is there a demon? Is there a ghost? I was thinking the lady that killed herself in the beginning is gonna be the ghost. But nothing. It had nothing to do with it. And that was kind of disappointing on my end. I would have at least been I would have been okay with it being a ghost or a demon than a vampire.
See, and that's the thing. For me, like, if you want to do a vampire. That's fine. But make it interesting. How do you have a movie about vampires, a family of vampires who control the world basically because they're all rich,
You're rich.
and you make it, how do you make this boring? I don't understand that.
It just gave me. I mean, I love the Twilight books, but the Twilight movies, I'm not a fan. And I just kept thinking, this is worse than Twilight. I would rather be watching Twilight right now.
I actually agree with you. Yeah, I actually do agree with you. And you know what? I'm looking at the director's work right now, or her body of work, and it's very light. You know, there's not much. She only started in 2008 with shorts. Yeah, look. So she does shorts all the way up until 2013.
2017. No, 2017.
Then in 2017, yeah. So this is a very rookie director, very green. She started in 2017 with The Light of the Moon. I haven't watched it. Unstoppable TV documentary series, and then she goes
With
into
one
the end.
episode.
Yeah, with one episode, and then she goes into the end, which is what she did for 2020. I never even heard of this show, but she did 6
The
episodes.
TV series.
You know, and this is unfortunate because I think there's so many brilliant directors out there who need a chance, and hopefully she learns from this and she can, because I'm sure this movie's gonna get destroyed by the critics.
Oh.
But go ahead and talk about the movie. Let me actually look up the Rotten Tomato score to this right now.
So, I mean, I honestly, I was into it for the first hour, and I don't know why. Maybe because of the whole. So she wait. Let me just go back. So she meets this Oliver guy. He says, "I'm your cousin. Come with me to London or England. There's a wedding." So she goes. She gets there. They stay at this huge, somewhat mansion slash little castle. Um, and then she meets Walter, who they introduce him as the owner of this little mansion. So there's some little love interest between them, little chemistry here and there. So that's pretty much it. They just, have a little chemistry here and there throughout the movie, and then they bring in all the scary, wannabe scary scenes. And then they introduce these two characters, Victoria and Lucy, who are supposedly the
Worst
bridesmaids.
actresses I've ever seen. Uh huh.
So they're the bridesmaids to the supposed groom and
Can we just agree that
bride.
I'm sure both these women, in their own right, they're amazing actresses. Unfortunately, this was just a bad film. But can we just
Yeah.
agree that they were in both they were both in two completely different movies? Because one of them was very, oh, this is Dracula, and this is how we
Yes,
talk, and
the Victoria.
yeah, and then the other one was a lot more. No, I don't want to do very
Like in
Buffy the
the
Vampire
yes,
Slayer,
like yeah.
very teen poppy,
Mhm.
and they kind of say that this is an age gap, that she's been Victoria, the older one, has been with him for like 500
500
years.
years.
The younger one's been with him for like 100 years. But 100 years ago, people didn't talk the way that she talked, because she talks like a Gen Z, and her mannerisms are very Gen Z-ish. And once again, the Victoria girl, okay, I buy it if that's how everybody in the movie's acting. And you know what? This is actually where I'm gonna plot Thomas Doherty, who plays Walter, who's the Dracula, the Nosferatu of this film. He does a good job because he does the balance of, yes, this is a vampire movie. This is a little bit ridiculous, but this
Mhm.
is still serious.
Yes.
So I think he does a very good job of adding a little bit more gravitas to this film, and he brings that seriousness that's needed in this role and in this film. Another guy that I'm going to go ahead and applaud is Sean Pertwee, who plays Mr.
Oh,
Fields.
the
He's
butler.
like the butler. He actually came out in Gotham, and he played Alfred for
Oh.
the entire series, and he was fantastic in it. He was one of my favorite Alfreds of all time. He comes out in this movie, and he's amazing. He does his thing.
Yeah, he
Pretty
scared
much,
me.
yeah, pretty much the same character, except he's a little bit more evil in this
Yeah,
one. But
he's mean.
he was very good. Nobody else in this film stands out to me. I think, to be honest with you, even Miss Sunday, I think she did a good job with the material that she was given. Natalie Emanuel, she did a very good job with what she was given. Unfortunately, I think that her and her co-star Thomas Doherty were let down unfortunately, by the director, who wasn't able to completely put a very good film, or even an exciting film, when you're dealing with source material based off of vampire stuff. And that's just my opinion, where if you have, if I have vampires at my disposal, I'm going to have fun with that. And I'm going to have the audience have fun with it. This movie, I don't know if you felt it, but I felt like every time something exciting was about to happen, it only lasted for about 10 seconds, and then they
Yes.
went right back to the boring
Yeah,
parts.
I agree. But can I be totally honest with you?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm over vampire movies. And I think this was just kind of proves that the whole vampire movie
Can I be
thing.
honest with you back?
What?
The vampires are about to explode again.
Oh no.
They
Can
are.
they be better?
Well, yeah, they're definitely going to be better because Blade is coming up for Marvel. And
Oh, okay.
Blade is going to be amazing, and everybody's going to love Blade. So it's going to blow up again. This movie, though, this is exactly what killed the vampire genre.
Yes, I think maybe that's why I don't like it because it's
Mm-hmm.
just adding more of that fuel of vampire movies are bad. And
Yeah.
that just adds more to, or this movie added more to that
I mean,
for
it's
me.
it's
And it,
it's saying something when you say Twilight is a better film than this one. Uh huh. You were saying?
um, but yeah, it was disappointing. I don't know, it was just really bad in my opinion. I kept looking at my watch, seeing what time it was because I wanted it to be over.
If we didn't have to review this movie, I would have walked out early.
I know.
I would have left. I
I'm
don't care.
surprised we didn't, but
Yeah, and the only reason I didn't was because once again I took a nap. I got a power nap early on.
you did. I didn't.
Yeah, and I kind of like I kind of chugged through this movie if I as I could. Once again, I was just thinking about what trying to watch Dragon Ball Z at this point. So, you know, let's just finish recapping the film. She goes to the place, she falls in love with Mr. Doherty, who's like the head of the house, and they're telling her, "Oh
Walter.
yeah, there's this whole wedding happening." And she like the entire time she's asking, "Oh,
Where's
where's the
the
bride and
bride and
groom? Where's the bride
groom?
and groom?" Like you know what's up at this point. And then he's very charming, and he ultimately kind of forces her to marry him, and then they all reveal that they're vampires. I think that was an exciting moment, even though I watched it in the trailers. I was still excited that it was happening in the theaters because once again, it kind of pushed me away from all the boringness
Yes,
and the stillness and the slow stuff that was happening.
I agree.
And you know, it was a little bit exciting, but once that was it. Like that's
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
yeah, everything
Really
else is
bad.
just really bad. And I was talking about this in the non-spoiler review, but the fire in this movie is terrible CGI. You can see the ambers and everything. It
But
looks
you
so
skipped it.
it looks so I'm not recapping this movie. Fuck that. We're not doing it.
They go to the altar. She
Mhm.
sucks this vampire's blood,
Mhm.
and then she throws candles, and the whole house begins to
He gets weak.
engulf. And
He
oh
gets
yeah,
like super weak
he
for
gets
some
old.
reason. Yeah, no, because she stabs him, he
Oh
gets old.
yeah, she. Oh yeah, we
But when she
forgot. She
just sucks his
stabs him.
yeah, when she just sucks his blood, he gets like super
Oh
weak.
yeah, like pale.
Like
That's weird. Okay.
yeah, like he just he just can't do anything even though he's supposed to be this super powerful
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
vampire. And he even tells her, "Oh yeah, take it easy, take it easy." Like, come on, dude. You're basically kidnapping this girl and you expect her not to pull anything like this? So, go ahead and wrap it up, please.
So yeah, she pretty much stabs this guy, and
Yeah.
she throws candles on the floor, and the whole house starts being engulfed in these flames. And then she runs away, goes to the village, knocks on some old lady's door, and this old lady is obviously working with them. So she gets sent back to the house, and then she fights them off, and she
Quick
leaves.
quick word of advice for anybody whoever finds himself in this situation. When you're running away from
Vampires.
a cult of vampires or a family of, whatever, super powerful rich people, never stop on the first town out of the house.
Yeah, that was
Never.
pretty dumb.
Because those people know what's up. They're just
Yeah.
going to turn you right back in to them. We see it all the time. Just keep moving. Steal a car and keep driving your ass to the airport and then from there get the heck out of there.
Mhm.
Okay, go ahead. They try to drug her with some tea. She throws the tea into the guy's
Wait, I think we're
face.
like getting this mixed up because that was before
I don't care.
the mayor.
I don't
Well,
care.
anyway, so she runs away, pretty much.
And then
She
they take her
ends
right
up,
back.
and then I think that's when they get married, or
Yeah.
whatever that marriage thing happens.
Hmm.
She fights him off. She starts fighting the Victoria vampire
She gets like
lady.
super strength from sucking
Oh
his
yeah,
blood.
because she turns into a vampire
Yeah.
herself.
So I guess the
Sucking.
whole ritual of it has to be that they have to interchange blood. He has to drink
Mhm.
her blood and she has to drink his blood, but he was stupid enough to let her drink his blood first. and then she never gives him her blood. So that's when
Mhm.
she gets her super strength and she becomes like, they say she's a halfling basically. She's Blade at this point. She has half vampire powers, so she has the strength. And she ends up stabbing him. He doesn't die. And
The
then
Victoria girl goes after her.
yeah.
The Victoria
Hmm.
character goes after her. They get into a cat fight. um, the little Lucy girl comes out and ends up stabbing Victoria too, or hitting her with,
For no reason, by the way.
yeah, and she pushes her into, what was it, like a statue of someone
Why
holding.
are these statues who are holding like swords that can kill you just standing around?
So she pushes Victoria into this statue with the sword, and they both end up dying, pretty much.
By the way, I thought you're supposed to stab them through the heart, right?
Yeah, it was
There's
in their stomach, right? It was
Yeah,
still
it was like in their spine and her stomach. So that doesn't
like
make any
there's a huge
sense.
height difference between them two.
That's
So
what I'm saying. Maybe one of them might have gotten hit with it by
maybe
the
the
heart.
little one. I don't know.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have both died on that. It doesn't make any sense. All right,
Yeah,
continue.
it doesn't make any sense at all. And then Walter comes back out of nowhere. I don't remember. He comes out and
Old Walter.
yeah, the old Walter, and he tries to, I don't even know, try to kill the Evie girl or just wants her. I don't know. She ends up just pushing him into the fire and he burns and he dies. And then you just see her walking out of the building, and then that's it. And you think it's over, but then it says 2 weeks later.
Oh yeah, they're like, we're not done torturing you
I know.
guys.
I was like,
You guys are
yes,
sitting in here for as
I was
long as we
like,
can.
no.
By the way, can I
Uh,
just say she should have just gone right back to the town and slaughtered that old man and that old lady that turned her in?
I know. You know. So anyway, 2 weeks later, she shows up back
Yeah.
to London with her best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and now they're looked like she wanted to avenge Oliver, which was her supposed cousin.
Mm-hmm.
And they just shows them walking towards his real estate office, and then it finishes.
Yeah.
And
And her
I
friend's
honestly
holding
would
a
have
bat.
been okay with just seeing her maybe beat this guy up just for making me wait this long, but it just cuts off there, and then that's it.
You know what's actually scary? I think they might have been trying to set up a sequel to this.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's the
I
real
didn't think
horror of
about
this
that.
movie.
I didn't think about that.
All right, so any final thoughts on this? I know I've been ranting on this movie.
I mean, I think I calmed down because when we got out of the movie, I was upset because I felt like I wasted 2 hours of my life.
Yeah. You know what? This is a job, and sometimes it doesn't feel like a job, but days like this
It does.
definitely make it feel like a job.
Um,
We would have been better
don't
off
watch
staying at
it.
home watching Naruto.
Yes, I would have preferred Naruto over this
Yeah.
1,000 times. Um,
Or
if
even
you
going to
don't,
Costco and doing some grocery
yes,
shopping.
if you are interested in watching this movie, just watch the trailer, and that will be the whole storyline for you.
Yeah.
That is what I recommend.
I think 2.5 minutes, you'll get the entire movie,
Yes.
and you don't have to sit there for waste
2
two and a
hours.
half hours or 2 hours or whatever it was. All right, so I hope this director learns her lessons. I hope she becomes a better director for it. Um, I'm not going to lie. If I see something else of hers pop up, I'm going to be a little bit worried. But I trust there were some decent elements in here that tell me that she can be a good director at some point. I thought certain scenes seemed very actiony. Like there was some I guess some blocking where when she kicks him into the fire
Mm-hmm.
and she looks like a superhero at that point. Um
To be
and
honest, I don't remember anything.
okay, well
I was kind of over it, and I'm just like, just kill him, please let it be over.
there were some things that we call blocking, which is how actors move in a certain scene
Mm-hmm.
and how the camera moves, and she looks like a superhero in certain parts, which is what they were trying to do. So there is that small little element of this director wanting to transition more into something like that. But it did feel like a very green director who's coming out of smaller independent
Mhm.
films trying to break into a blockbuster film. So that's why you felt all the slow parts and all the boring parts, because those are the cheapest ones to make,
Mhm.
and it's very low budget.
But honestly, I feel like it was a little too late for me with those action scenes.
Yeah.
I was already done.
Yeah.
I didn't care for it, to be honest.
Yeah, you could easily cut out an hour of this movie and it would make more sense and it'd be a lot better. Maybe because once again you still have to make it. But yeah, that's enough of that. I don't want to keep crapping on this movie. If you guys agree with us, let us know in the comments. If you disagree, also let us know.
Yeah, if you liked it, let us know
Yeah,
why you liked it, why what you enjoyed from it.
and if you have bad taste, just go ahead and give us a like too, because you clearly have bad taste if you like this movie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Film is subjective. Everybody has their own preferences. So, let us know what you guys think. Leave a like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Bye bye.
Bye.